What is going on, everybody? It's me, Earl here, and today it's been a while since I made a video. We're going to be replacing the crankcase ventilation, the cam plugs, and the expansion plugs on this W204 C350 here. There's a helicopter flying over me. This is a very easy thing to do, and there's a spider web. That just tells you I don't drive this car as often as before. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Now, first of all, these cam plugs are located at the back of the engine, back top. So they're actually pretty easy to access. All you have to do is just remove these filter hoses and then the whole air filter box. And that's pretty much it. You just need a flathead screw, and you just have to be careful not to crack any of these little prongs over here in the back. Reason being is that these are very fragile plastic. After 15, 16 years of driving, that's literally what's gonna happen. I mean, to begin with, this looks already pretty fragile as it is brand new. So imagine being baked in the heat for the past 16 years. Yeah, definitely not a good combo. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started by removing the cover of the engine. It's quite nasty, actually. We need to clean this up. Let's start off by removing this hose. Yeah, there you go. This one is definitely falling apart. You can find these on Amazon for about like 40 bucks. I'll definitely get these replaced soon. Here's the air filter box. There's supposed to be a little clip in the back, but that doesn't exist on my car. I changed the air filter a couple of months ago, back in October, and it looks like it's getting nasty already, so we might have to replace that in a couple of months. As you can see, here's one of the plugs in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a towel and see how leaky it is, but there's definitely some seepage on it. One of the symptoms of a plug going bad is some oil residue, oil smell, and the fumes. It goes into the cabin. Reason being is that it drips down into the exhaust, and yeah, it gets pretty bad. So all we need is a flathead, and just slowly pry this out. I'm trying to show this on video. I should be able to pry this out. There you go. So here's the old expansion plug. It's definitely oily, fresh out of the engine. A little bit of seepage on the bottom, which is to be expected, and there's a little bit of an oil trap going on inside. So we're not gonna spill this all over the place. Now all you have to do is just do the opposite. Plug it in and yeah, voila. Just have to make sure it gets in there. You should feel a little bit of a clicking sound once everything is all inside. So far, yep, double checking it, and it's good. So this is the expansion plug that we got a new replacement for. This is one of the older ones, and look at that, dripping in oil. There's definitely some seepage over there. That's literally all oil just dripping down into the valve cover because of that. So we're definitely gonna get that fixed. This is a lot worse than I anticipated by how bad this is leaking. It's definitely, oh, gotta be careful not to snap any of the prongs in the back, but it looks like we already did, so. So this is one of the plugs I pulled out, and it looks like the top one is in turbo shape. It's like going inwards for some reason. I just found out the exhaust fumes are literally on this most right cam plug, or I guess most left, depending on how you look at it, is dripping exactly into the oxygen sensor of the exhaust. And so I'm glad I'm replacing this on time, because that would be quite disastrous. All right, we're putting this back in. So this is the other expansion plug. As you can see, you could literally see oil coming out of it. Yeah, look at that. That's oil dripping outside the cam plug. One last plug. Again, we just have to use a flathead and be careful not to break anything. So just slightly nudge it out. And there you go. And wow, look at that. One of the tooth is cracking and falling apart. And that's the reason why it's dripping oil. You definitely want to make sure you keep an eye on these plastic fantastic parts of your engine. These are one of the cheaper parts you can replace on the M272 motor. Put this expansion plug into the engine. Just be careful not to break it in the process. There you go. This is the last part we need to replace. This is the crankcase ventilation. Now I'd like to visualize where the holes are or the screws, so it's facing that way. And it's hard to put a camera over here, but I guess I'm just gonna do a time lapse on this one just so if I ever make a mistake, you guys won't see it. These two are probably the most hardest screws to take off on this job. All right, last screw, and we should be able to pop it off. Where am I? All right. Oh, whoa, look at this. There's a seepage of oil on this part of the engine. So that means this gasket in this area have completely failed. All right, so the new one should just plug in straight through. Fits like a glove. So update, I dropped one of my screws. Yeah, so I dropped one of my screws and I'm pretty sure I'll see it when I have to do an oil change. While everything's still uninstalled, like the cover of the engine, I'm just gonna install this air box and see if there's any seepage running around the area where we just installed the new parts. Then we should be good to go. So after starting the engine up, everything seems to be okay. One thing I definitely noticed is the oil smell, but that's because we cleaned it up and all the oil are dripping into the header's exhaust. So you definitely will smell that for a while. We did the cam plugs, the crankcase ventilation. We have more repairs coming on with this car because I definitely want to do preventative maintenance. Next week, I have a part coming in that's very well known also to fail on this car. Well, on the M272 motor. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.